Good afternoon, tribe. Here's what's happening today on What's Cooking. So we've got a young chicken here. Like, nobody wants to eat an old chicken. That would be kind of probably tough. We're going to be making roast chicken today in the Instant Pot. So here's what we got going on. I'm going to use these for a rub on the outside of the chicken. So I've got about 1.5 teaspoons of parsley. I've got about 1 teaspoon of ground sage, about 1 teaspoon of thyme, about 3/4 teaspoon of black pepper, teaspoon of salt, and just under 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Now keep in mind, the exact quantities here aren't real important because this is just going to be a rub on the outside of the chicken. And then I've got some fresh rosemary here out of my garden, and I'm going to stuff that in the chicken cavity. Well, I won't be stuffing per se, putting it in the chicken cavity. So I'll just mix all of this up together and then rub it on the outside of the chicken. And then in the Instant Pot, I've already got a cup of water going under the rack. And then I'm going to put about 1/2 teaspoon of liquid smoke in. I just really like the flavor that gives when I'm doing this kind of thing. So all I've got to do is open up the packaging, wash my chicken off, rub it down, and put it in the Instant Pot. So here we have it. Chicken's all seasoned up, top and bottom, both sides. And you can see the rosemary sticking out of the cavity there just a little bit. You can stuff this with anything or nothing, really doesn't matter. And you can vary the seasonings any way that you want to. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but for those of you that are of an age, that was from the song Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme. We've got all four. Chicken is so versatile. It's so easy to do things with. I kind of like to think of this as a faux-tisserie chicken because pressure cooking it keeps it nice and juicy and tender. Really does kind of replicate the flavor of the rotisserie chicken that you can get at the grocery store or Costco or whatever. So all we're going to do now is put the lid on and set the timer. So we're going to go with pressure cook, and we're going to go for 28 minutes. How cool is that to be able to roast a chicken in only 28 minutes? So when this is done, and the timer goes off, we'll go ahead and do a quick release on the pressure and then put an instant read thermometer in it. I want the instant read thermometer to say 160. And if I don't have 160, I'll put the lid back on and then reset it for 2 more minutes. And that's really all there is to it. It's like super simple. If you want to get the skin crispy, you can put it under the broiler about 6 or 8 inches away from the broiler for about 8 minutes or so, and it makes a wonderful dish. So here's the finished product, guys. You can see the chicken is actually quite tender, almost falling off the bone there. You're still seeing it in the Instant Pot. I don't know why, but for some reason I forgot to shoot it when I put it under the broiler. But as you can see, it looks perfectly good, just coming straight out of the Instant Pot that way. One thing to keep in mind is that you want your chicken to be no more than about 4 pounds. So start with 28 minutes, and if you're not done enough, just pop it back in for a couple more minutes at a time. If you've got a bigger chicken, you might need, another 2 to 4 minutes or 3 to 4 minutes to actually get that cooked. And of course, you do want to make sure that chicken is cooked. Now, keep in mind that at 160 degrees, that chicken is not completely cooked. That's the temperature at which you can stop actively cooking it. You're going to let it rest for about 10 minutes, and it will finish its internal cooking during that time. If you're stuffing with other vegetables or anything else, you don't want to leave those in the inner cavity after you've finished cooking it. Go ahead and pull those out, and you can use them to make stock. I'll link the recipe to the bone broth here as well. And as always, if you found something useful in this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button so you find out what's coming up next, and hit that notification bell as well. We'll see you the next time on What's Cooking. Bye for now.